Good morning and welcome to the Morning Huddle, your daily dose of change experience. I'm your host, Stef Simich, returning after a 2 week hiatus after my first week of launching the show so that I could really recenter and organize myself on what I want to do with this platform of the Morning Huddle. So, over those 2 weeks, I was really struggling with personal hardships going on. And then I got inundated with this imposter syndrome that was almost like too hard to get out of. Not only was I struggling with the technology piece and my live videos not saving and just other things when I was creating the content, then because I was feeling like a fraud, I just stopped making it. I didn't make any content last week. Um, because I didn't feel like I should be here. And that, my friends, is exactly why it is so important to have a show like this out there. The Morning Huddle is my passion project to really talk about how I truly believe that we can have sustainable, lasting change by creating experiences that help people see the bigger picture. And so my imposter syndrome and my failure to even overcome that to record content, like I am my target audience, right? Like I want people like me who get stuck in the shit to know that there is a way out. And just because you are stuck in the shit one day doesn't mean that you're stuck in the shit every day. And so I am back and more invigorated and more empowered to share this phenomenon that I am calling change experience. You know, as I've been talking about this and talking about this with other people who are, typically more in those corporate settings, they are screaming from the rooftops how much they need this messaging. Because unfortunately, this change leadership, change management, this whole raw from the top down, like I've talked about a couple times. It is sickening how much that is happening in our workplaces today and how little impact it's having. And it's actually creating more of a toxic workplace. When you have these leaders come in and act like everything is good or everything can get better if you just put some elbow grease in it or work a little harder, but they're not really looking to get to the core root of what's happening in the business. That is toxic AF, and we are not here for that. So, what does that mean? What does that mean for the morning huddle? What does that mean for me? What does that mean with all this excitement I have going on right now? Well, what that means is I spent that first week of the morning huddle telling you about like what that is. What is the morning huddle? What are the topics we're going to cover every day? And what is this thing called change experience? Well, for this week, the second week of the morning huddle, it's all about who is the morning huddle. Who is Stef Simich to be your host and to challenge you to create experiences that, really ignite lasting change. And I know I gave you guys some examples of, little personal bits of who I was in that first week and giving you little anecdotes, but differently than giving you small stories, because that's just going to be a natural progression of the morning huddle. I'm sharing my stories and the stories of others, but I wanted to, take this week to go beyond those anecdotes and really talk about who I am as a team member, as a thought leader, as a person who's focused about my well-being, as somebody who sets intentions on Monday and spends their Fridays thinking about their personal growth development. These days and the themes I created, they're very on purpose, but I realize that they're on purpose for me, and so I wanted to spend this week to share who I am with you to help gain your buy-in, because through you hearing about how I identify and overcome imposter syndrome, through you understanding all the different roles you can play on a team, through all of these things that I share this week, my goal is that these principles really resonate more with who you are, and you can feel more comfortable and more excited to be an advocate for change experience. Um, so, today is setting the attention. So, you're, meet up Monday, and this is the day that we come together and we really talk about the goal for the week. So, my goal for you at the end of this week is you hear a little bit about yourself each day, or even just through one or two of the stories, you hear a little bit about yourself. And so at the end of this week, you really know and believe that you, no matter what your role is, that you can ignite and inspire change. Because I believe it. I see it. I see it in people all the time who don't give themselves enough credit. And I want this platform to be a place to give you the words, to give you the validation that you're looking for to create experiences in your everyday life. So I'm excited to share more of me, even though it makes me nervous. But my life has only shown me that the more vulnerable I am, and the more vulnerable I'm willing to be, that is how I can blow the roof off of places. And so I'm excited to share this little bit more vulnerable week as I continue sharing the mission of change experience in the morning huddle. And so my goal at the end of this week is between hearing what it is week 1 and hearing who it is week 2, that going into week 3, that you will be excited and eager to read the books, practice the principles, and truly get ready to ignite change. So for today, until next time, I am your host, Stef Simich, and this has been the Morning Huddle, your daily dose of change experience, with a reminder that change starts with each and every one of us. Are you ready to experience the change?